Ahoy! And welcome to the Boating Hour with Captain Rick. The Boating Hour brings you the latest and greatest essential information about everything that sails, floats, or motors upon the high seas of Southern California. From landlubbers to old salts, there'll be something for everyone. So climb aboard and get ready to sail with Captain Rick.
Ahoy out there, and welcome to the Boating Hour. I'm Captain Rick, and I want to thank you for joining us here on AM 870. We're here every Saturday at 4 p.m. Please be sure to visit us on the web at theboatinghour.com. Now on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. The Boating Hour with Captain Rick. And today, for the first time, part 2 of an incredible interview that I started last week. Happy Halloween to everybody, by the way. I've got the twins on. So the twins, Blue Top legend, we ended last week's show about Ariana, one of the twins, who was talking about the fitness career. And I want to follow up. I want to finish with that. Ariana, tell me how you got into fitness. You guys were equestrians. That is fantastic. So you spent your teen years being championship equestrians, and it led to a fitness career for you. So I want you to give us your website and tell us what you do in fitness and what you're planning on doing in your education. And then we'll finish up the show with your sister.
Okay, well, my website is AJ Peak Performance. I offer on that online personal training, nutrition coaching, and wellness coaching. I also do that in person, like I said last week in the podcast. I actually got into fitness with my mom. She is a big CrossFit fanatic.
Oh,
so
amazing.
One week she invited me to CrossFit, and she kind of kept pushing it just to get me out, because we were homeschooled. We didn't really socialize outside of our boat friends and after quitting our old sport. So she encouraged me to come with her, and I said no a couple times. But then one week I decided to push myself out of my shell, and I went with her, and I actually really enjoyed it. Just a new feeling of being able to push your body, because in the old sport, like I said last week, we were working the 12 to 15-hour days. That's a very large toll on your body. So without that, I kind of was missing that spark. I didn't have that something to be able to push myself. And I found that, I guess, when I went to CrossFit. I had a lot of fun. I went there for a couple months. I don't know exactly, but I enjoyed it. It was just a little high intensity for me. So after that, I decided to get my own gym membership, at your typical LA Fitness sort of gym. And I started making my own programming there, started experimenting, and I just loved the progress that I saw there, focusing more on strength training rather than the aerobic focus of CrossFit. And now I'm lifting up, a private gym, a more bodybuilder-focused gym. So I've really been able to take it to the next level and focus on pursuing that goal of mine.
Are you competing? Have you brought your equestrian training and what your dedication to with your sister in the boating? Are you now competing in fitness and training, or are you going kinesiology, physiology route in fitness and nutrition? Or are you doing both?
I don't compete at the moment. It has been a thought in my mind, because I think I would love to do it. It does take a really large toll on you, though, because of the restriction that you're doing, in terms of food and social life and all of that. I would love to do it, but it is something that I have thought about and will keep thinking about. For now, though, I'm just enjoying lifting and pushing my body to get stronger, and build the physique before I cut it down. So I do that, and I love it. And I also work but I do social media for Blue Top. So Sophia does the whole yacht selling thing and creating content. But when we go out and just have fun, I'm the one that just takes little clips of us, dancing on the boat or jumping off of something. And I just grab little clips and make cute little edits. So I typically create that sort of content for our Instagram. It's just Blue Top Legends. You can go check us out. We also have a TikTok. Sophia has a TikTok as well for her yachting business.
What's the TikTok? How do people find you on find Blue Top? Is it a Blue Top Legend for TikTok and Instagram?
Yeah, it is. And Facebook. We also have a Facebook.
Okay. So you're doing the social media.
So
Are you doing social media for other people or just the fitness and nutrition?
I do it for Blue Top. I also do it. I don't have a social media for my fitness page at the moment because that's something I do privately with clients that request it from me. I don't necessarily advertise it on my own.
Okay.
Just because fitness is something I have always done for myself. And I'm just getting into the online sort of platform. I definitely do the in-person training and nutrition coaching, but I've had requests for me to do it, with people that aren't local. So that's a little newer. I am going to start advertising that. I haven't done it yet, though. But for social media, I am right now only doing it for Blue Top because I do work 4 jobs between all of this. So
Wait, my goodness, you got 4 jobs? Are they all around the gym? Let's plug your gyms. What are your gyms again?
I work at Bailey's Health and Fitness. I also work at Burn, and I work for a private nutrition company. And then if you count my own AJ Peak Performance, I also do that. And then I kind of combine that with the whole Blue Top marketing thing. So I don't work for anyone else in terms of social media at the moment. Sophia has been approached multiple times about that, and I would be more than happy to take that on. I mean, coming from working the 12 to 15-hour shifts at the barn, just to be able to ride a horse, we have that work ethic, and we genuinely love it. So I would be more than happy to do that. She's been approached. Nothing has, taken that grip yet, but I love it. I really do, and I love being able to help other businesses grow because we've taken ours from 0 followers to 30,000 or 30-something thousand.
That is
so
fantastic.
Seeing that community grow, and the fact that we haven't gotten a social media manager to do it, we've done it all ourselves. It just goes back to building the boat up with our dad. We did it ourselves, and that's a story we have to tell.
I have a feeling in the decade to come, I'm going to go back to this show when you guys are ginormous international successes because you do have the work ethic. You twins are an inspiration to all youngsters. I hope that a lot of people listen to this and get inspired to go into boating or fitness, to go to college, to stay away from, this is Southern California. And boy, I tell you, we are having a lot of difficulty with our youngsters, getting them into hobbies, getting them to be productive. But Ariana, I got to tell you, this is very inspiring. The fact that you're so close to your family, how you got started and, what you're doing, and I definitely got to get some stuff up on the website so people can follow you. I have a feeling everyone listening are going to become your fans and are going to want to see you. So let's plug again your website and then your sister's. And then I got a whole list of questions for your sister on the boat brokerage business.
Okay, my website is AJ Peak Performance. It's just my first and last initial, and then followed by Peak Performance. Pretty simple to find. I don't have an Instagram for that right now, just the website. I offer my different packages on there for nutrition coaching, personal training, and wellness coaching online or in person. So it's pretty easy to set that up. People are also more than welcome to message us on Blue Top because that's actually how I get a lot of my clients, and that's how Sophia gets a lot of hers. We get people messaging us about, can you sell my boat? Can you market my boat? I heard you do personal training. Can I set that up? So Blue Top has actually become our main point of sale, I guess you could say. We get a lot of our clients from there. So people are more than welcome to follow my website, in which I have my contact information, or just do a simple DM on our Instagram.
God, that is one of the most exciting stories I've heard from all the guests that I've had. And the fact that you're youngsters and you're just doing so well. You're starting out your life with, on top. This is really amazing. So this is fun. I'm going to come visit you in Florida. You're going to have to keep me away from the alligators and the hurricanes. How's that going? Are people safe? Is Florida over the danger zone?
Florida, yeah, we're kind of over the danger zone. We are on the East Coast, so we didn't really get hit as bad as the West Coast did. I know that Naples and Fort Myers, that kind of area, got most of the hit with rain and wind. But I will say the tornadoes from the recent Hurricane Milton were wild. We got tornadoes both on the West Coast and the East Coast over here, Miami, Jupiter, Wellington. They all got hit very hard with the tornadoes. I mean, I see I see people with houses that are just completely
Oh, my
destroyed.
goodness.
As we said, we rode horses, so I know people with those barns that are just diminished and completely nothing anymore. I mean, you see wood panels everywhere, cinder blocks, all the gates are down. It's terrible what happened with these hurricanes. And I know Jupiter got hit really, really badly. Wellington, I know, got hit, but I don't think it was that bad. Jupiter got most of the hit.
God, Ariana, this has been fantastic. I want you to go to work. I know that you're rushing off to work. Thanks for coming back this week. And hope that you had a good Halloween. And let's talk to the boat broker. But thanks so much, Ariana. I'm going to become your biggest fans. I think this is going to be one of my better shows. I've never done this before where I followed up and done 2 parts. But anyway, thanks so much. It's Ariana. This is fantastic. So let's go to
Thank
Captain.
you for having me.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I'm excited. I feel that it's, really is my pleasure, but I'm kind of honored, and I'm excited because this really was, you're a fantastic team. So Captain Sophia, let's talk to you. I want to talk a little bit about the boat brokerage because we did talk and you said you sold a Hunter sailboat. So let's talk about the sailboat because mostly your boat brokerage. Who are you working for? Or are you independent? Are you selling used boats? Let's talk about the boat brokerage business.
Yeah, sure. So you can actually find all my listings and all my sold boats, client testimonials, that whole thing on our website at bluetoplegend.com. But I know I spoke to you a little bit prior. I did actually sell the Hunter sailboat, which was the first sailboat I have ever sold. It was a 2006 Hunter 45 center cockpit. So a pretty big sailboat to have been my first sale. And ironically, maybe about a year and a month ago, my sister sent me a DM from a guy, Kevin, that was looking for a sailboat. And I didn't think anything of it. It was when I was just getting into the brokerage business. So she sent it to me, and I said, you know what? It'd be a great first client to have, so I'll take it on. And I've been working with Kevin for months. We actually got another Hunter sailboat under contract prior to the one that we ended up closing on. But that one, the survey didn't check out well, so we both decided that it would be best for him to walk away from that deal. And a couple months later, we found one that had just hit the market, pristine condition. We had that one surveyed, checked out incredibly, so we decided to close on that boat, and now he sends me pictures and videos every couple of days, every week, of him enjoying the boat with his son and his family. So it's, like I said last week, it's just really heartfelt to know that I get to share my passion with so many different people coming from around the world. I mean, this boat was way up north, not in Florida. So I do sell across everywhere. It doesn't even have to be in the United States. I can sell pretty much anywhere. But to be able to handle that all from here and to be able to know that this client found us through Blue Top and he's become part of our family, we are so close to him. My dad is an eye doctor, so he's helping Kevin with his cataracts. It's just, he's really part of the family. I really take all my clients into my heart and introduce them to being a legend, as I like to call it.
That is, yeah, the Hunter Legends. We have actually, I got to get her on my show. So, Hunter Legend is one of the great boats. I know the story behind Hunter. They were one of the great, they used to call them floating condos. People liked the Hunter because they were roomy and they were comfortable. They could take their family out for the weekend. And Hunter came out with the Legend series so that it would get a good name in the racing community. And we've got a couple championship Hunter Legends. And so the current Southern California Yachting Association Commodore, Kathy St. Amant, has a Hunter Legend. I got to get her on the show because she wins races. She's done the Transpac, which is Newport Beach down to Mexico. Transpac is to Hawaii, but she's done the Ensenada, which is Newport Beach to Ensenada in that. And she's just a fantastic sailor. And we have some unbelievable, just to hear you guys as youngsters, so you're twins, how old are you now? 19, 20?
19.
You're 19. Oh my goodness! You guys are going to have a fantastic life, with an incredible following, an unbelievable list of people that are going to be your friends. You jumped right into it. How was getting your captain's license? Who inspired you to get your? I want to hear the story a little bit. How did you get inspired after you took that boat out on the ocean, which is one of the greatest stories I've ever heard, and so who inspired you to get your captain's license and to go into the boat brokerage business and make a whole life out of this?
Well, for the captain's license, my dad mentioned it first, but through all the connections that I actually met this one guy, Tony, who is the owner of Captains on Call. It's a Facebook group. And he asked me to come out on the boat with him one day because he wanted to introduce me basically to being a captain and what it was like. He's one of the most renowned, well-known captains in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale especially. So I did a boat delivery with him one time just to see what it was all about. You did a
boat delivery? My goodness,
yeah.
From where to where?
It wasn't far. It was just throughout South Florida. I've done a couple now, but that was my first one. And he told me, he said, Sophia, you need to get your captain's license. There's no reason why you shouldn't have it. You need to get it. He didn't really give me a choice. So it did spark my interest after I spoke to him. And I started looking into it, got all my documents in order. As I said last week, I was 17 by the time I had submitted all my documents and my hours. So they didn't send it to me until I was 18. But now I have that one in hand. I've done a couple charters. I do offer them, not on my personal boat, but I have a couple companies that I work with that I do offer charters as a captain. So I'm mainly focusing on the brokerage side, but if someone comes to me and they say, listen, I need a captain for this charter, I'm more than happy to help. Any extra hours on the water are good hours.
God, you are so right. I'm going to tell you, first of all, I'm going to nominate your father as Father of the Year award. Okay, he's done an amazing job. I haven't met him, but I can tell you just from talking to you and getting to you and your sister, and I tell you, you're Parents of the Year award. I mean, your mother sounds absolutely fantastic. They are an inspiration to every parent in America. And I tell you, you guys are going to do incredibly well. So I'm going to make it a point to invite you back, to follow up, to put you up on the website. I did a great show I think it was 2 years ago when I first started with Captain Carolyn. Captain Carolyn was a young girl in college that took a trip to the tall boats. So here we have they're restorations of the old ships, the tall ships, and they bring kids out and they teach them about sailing and they have simulated little like pirate fights, and they teach them. And they even have the group, they'll start building and maintaining. And she was on a college trip and went on one of these tall ships. And she liked it so much, somebody that never had been in the ocean, she had never sailed before, she went on and got her captain's license. She's now the captain, teaching other people how to sail, how to fix things, how to be a crew member. A lot of kids come out. They even have summer camps, and she's a regular. She was one of my great shows. So I'm thinking of how empowered women are. In our area, we have something called WSA Women's Sailing Association, very active. A lot of champion women that sail, that cruise, that race. And coming in 28, the Olympics are going to be here. And I'll tell you, some of the top women, young women, they're in their teens and their 20s, and will be competing nationally, internationally, and setting up for the 28 Olympics. And I think we may come back with some medals. But it's a big deal for sailing here. And, of course, in the Pacific Ocean, we have it's fantastic because we have year-round sailing. So it really is exciting. So your story is fantastic. So your website, bluetoplegend.com. So if you're just joining us now, I have part 2, which started last week with the twins. Tell me about being a twin. So are you guys identical twins? Do you look the same?
We are identical, but I don't personally think we look the same because I have a little bit of darker hair. She's more of a brighter blonde. And she is also a bodybuilder, so she has muscles for days.
Oh, my goodness. So she's starting to,
muscles.
yeah, she's starting, I can see that. So she's gone the fitness route. And I'll tell you, I know some equestrians. I know people that work on horses. The dedication, the experience, the work ethic that comes with raising a horse, competing, and of course the fitness bodybuilding. With Southern California, we're home to Gold's Gym. I was a fitness bodybuilding photographer for many years.
Wow.
I did a lot of sports. I worked for a couple different agencies, and I covered all the sports that grew into the Olympics. So on the off Olympic years. So I really enjoy hearing about people that are dedicated to their sport and all the sports. I love sports. I love the energy around the sport, the training that goes in, the families, the competitors themselves, and the entourage of people that support them. So I understand that, and it really is fantastic to hear this. And you two is such a young age. And I tell you, I'm going to be I'm honored in the years to come to have done this interview with you. So what's in the future for you? Now, you're going to keep going and getting your 100-ton? Is that in the near future?
Honestly, I don't think so. For now, at least, I'm going to stop at the 25-ton.
Okay, that's enough.
Just because it is for me, being said that I don't do so many charters and I'm more focused on the brokerage because I'm really looking to expand Blue Top Yachting and take it to the moon.
Okay.
There are no limits for me just because I have such an incredible support system. I mean, even you can tell, my parents are the most incredible people that I know. My dad is the most supportive person, both financially and mentally. My mom especially, she's very into energy, so she always makes sure that I'm feeling my best. And she always gives me these little mantras and puts sticky notes on my mirror, just these little things that really help me to become the best version of myself. And I couldn't do any of this without them.
Well, now that boats have evolved and we now have foiling sailboats. And so I tell you, I say it's more like pilots on an airplane. I don't know if you've seen the foiling boats where they're coming out of the water. So we may be able to take a sailboat from the ocean to the moon. So I think the Blue Top Legend, you guys are going to take that business to the moon. And I'll tell you something, if you can talk your sister into it, I think she should continue with the social media aspects because it's so hard to find people to do that. My goodness.
It is.
Yeah, it's very interesting how difficult it is, and people were going to be clamoring if she does that, but I'm sure she's going to be really busy supporting you and Blue Top Legend, and her fitness career sounds like it's taking off. She's working hard. That work ethic is really going to pay off. So I think she's going to be inundated with clients. She may not have time for social media, for a business in that. But that's a real interesting business. It's something I'm not good at. I'm good at all kinds of other things. I'm a photographer, and I'm good on the radio, and I like making public appearances, but I'm not that good with social media. But it's so important because now you can look at anything all over the world. So you're getting clients that look you up, and they're at all different places all over the world?
Yeah, social media is really taking over our world, and Blue Top would not be a thing without her at all. I actually started the Instagram page initially when Blue Top started in 2021, and I gave up maybe 3 days after. I put a post up and said, you know what, maybe not. Maybe let's not do an Instagram page. And she asked me for the username and password. I gave it to her, and she has quite literally taken that page from 0 to 30-something thousand or whatever it's at.
That
now.
is fantastic. I'm going to make a
She's
point.
Amazing.
I'm going to make a point of taking a trip to Florida, getting you to skipper and captain me on a charter. I'd like to meet you and your parents and maybe even do a show out there, go to one of the boat shows. Well, time has flown by. We're at the end of the second show. So I really appreciate you and your sister coming back on this show. Really fantastic. Happy Halloween, everybody. That's all the time that we have for you today. Hope you enjoyed our show today. And thanks to Raycom Radios and Livia One Probiotics. And happy Halloween, everybody. And it's voting time. So everybody take it easy and love your neighbor and your friends. This is Captain Rick saying ahoy. Fair winds to all. And thanks for our guests, the twins coming out. BlueTopLegend.com. Captain Sophia, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely. So happy to have been here. Thank you for having us. We had such a great time. I can't wait for the follow-up.
Okay, that's fantastic.